Hi Flosstube, it is Helen D. Today's video is a little bonus video. It's not a regular update. It's kind of an FFO, fully finished parade of all of the secret stitching that I've been working on so hard for the last, probably the last month and a half. Should have been the last 6 months, and then I wouldn't have had so much to do all at once, but that's not how things work. So I've been finishing. I just looked, I have my husband's left to finish and one more teacher ornament that I'm going to do a Mill Hill kit that's not in yet. So that will be my last hurrah. So I have a bunch of things in front of me, and then I have one little video. I tried to, if I had something that had to be mailed out early, I took a little video, and I think I thought I'd have more, but I think it was just one. So I'm going to put that here first to show those off. All right, past Helen here with a couple of more ornaments I wanted to show you because these need to get popped in the mail. These are both from the Prairie Schooler Merry Mini Surprise. I can't find the chart. It's over. I won't even show you the disaster that is my desk on the other side, but I can't find it. It's somewhere over there. I think it's Merry Mini Surprise. These are going to Misty and Barbie. We do a swap every year, and this year we did Christmas. So we decided there were like 8, I think, different designs. We would each stitch one of them for the other. We just coordinated, right? Like Misty reached out to me and said, I'm going to stitch this one for Barbie. Is that okay? So you stitch a different one. Absolutely. So this one is going to Barbie and this one is going to Misty, and I finished them as ovals with cording and a little snowflake charm. I did leave off, there's a like a back stitch border, and I left that off so that I could finish them as ovals instead of as rectangles. So there is 2 more finishes. So both of those were from the Merry Mini Surprise book by Prairie Schooler. And I laughed that Misty stitched me the same one I stitched Barbie, and Barbie stitched me the same one I stitched Misty. So now I don't have to stitch them again for myself. Fantastic. So there's those. So we will start in this next one. You may have seen, I showed them on my regular update video. I stitched a bunch of these. The little snowmen are from Snowball by Wood Thy Needle and Thread. I stitched them on 14 count plastic canvas with 3 strands of floss. They're all DMCs, and I finished them on these little wooden tags that you can get at Michael's. They're unfinished, and then I just painted them. I will try to link the tags below. They did have them back this year. They were sold in a pack of 50, which is great because then when I messed up a few, I had all kinds left over. So this is what I made for my son's teachers, except his math teacher, which gets something special, and I made 3 for myself. So that is the first one. Next up, I stitched from this book. This is Prairie Schooler, book 62, Kris Kringle. It has all these fun Santas, and they're meant to be done as ornaments. They are 71 by 38-ish. You know, they all vary a little bit. I thought I would do them as stand-ups. So this is the first one. This one, my local stitching group, we do a swap. We draw names and do a swap. And this one is actually going to Missy of 2 Needles Pulling Thread. I just finished it with some holly on the back and cording. I did use on all of them, my oven's preheated, a variegated floss for the coats. And I think on this one, on all of them actually, I had to change this kind of creamish. I use 822, but I had to change that. So this one is Missy's. She will already have it by now. This one is going to my mom. I love this blue. This is a color in cotton. A limited edition, unfortunately, but so that's hers. And And then this one is mine. And then I'm currently stitching a blue one for myself as well. But I haven't been able to show you guys because I didn't want to give it away. So those are the 3 that I did. I laughed when the names got matched up. The last 2 years, I've had Kathy. And then this year, I'm like, oh, I don't have Kathy this year. I have Missy. So she'll be getting that. Actually, I'm filming this weekend. We're getting together. So 25 count, 3 strands of floss is what I used to make them. I don't know, it's probably 6 inches. I went 25 count over 2, 3 strands over 2, because I wanted them, you know, as big as possible. So they're super cute. They came out really well. Next up, this is for Carla at Cobweb Corner. Carla loves Lord of the Rings. I saw this chart last year. It came out last year right around Christmas, and I thought, oh my gosh, how creative is that chart? And then when I was thinking this year, like, what can I make for Carla? I'm like, oh, I know what I can make for Carla. This is called 7 Swans to Rule Them All, and it's by Screaming Heart Designs on Etsy. So I'll hold it up there so you can read it. 7 swans to rule them all, 6 geese to find them, 5 rings to bring them all, and in the pear tree bind them. I stitched this on an 18 count. Unfortunately, it is still way too big for an ornament. I would have had to do it like 25 count over 1 or something really small. So I had just this box. I had some kind of saying in the middle, right? But I put some black fabric, and then I had some rickrack that was just the right color. I think this is Picture This Plus Jade. This red is someone had sent it to me. It's probably like a 12 weight. It was 1 strand. It was like a 1 strand floss that was variegated like a deep kind of garnet reds, and it was perfect. So that one is all ready to go. The next 2, one of these is for my son and one is for my sister. My son knows, obviously, but my sister doesn't, so that's why it's in my secret stitching. These are the same, except I changed the color of their little presents. So these are from Stitch with Coffee. They're from a big chart called Under the Mistletoe, which has 2 cats. There's a red one like looking at this one, and then they're under like a garland, and there's all these little cutesy things on it. I just wanted the cats. She actually released a whole series of holiday sweater cats. I think there's 6 or 8 of them. But when I had my son look through to pick out which sweater he liked the best, this is the one he liked the best. So I bought the sampler chart. And then I had this. I've had this for ages. And I'm like, whoa, that's going to be hard to match. Match this perfectly. So finally. So those 2 are done. He'll get to pick. Donnie, you get whatever he doesn't pick. So those are done. Last one, quick story time. I stitched last year for my mom, hands-on designs, might have been 2 years ago, the flamingo charts that she released. Like there was Fa La Lamingo. I stitched 2. I don't remember what the other one was called, but they had flamingos on them, and they're done as like an arched top. And I did 2 for myself and 2 for her. So I get a picture like a month ago, and it's of a cabinet with 2 command hook strips on it, empty. So sad. And it says, oh, see these hooks? This is where I hang my Christmas flamingos. Look how bare they are the rest of the year. Hint, hint. So I'm like, oh, I can take that hint. What are you looking for? Something Florida-ish. So I thought, and I'm like, ooh, I know what might work. I've had this chart for a long time. It's hands-on design and just another button company, and they did a whole series called Squareology, Square.ology. And the way these were released, I'm going to flip it over, is they gave you a corner of the chart, and then you're supposed to like use pins and turn it and turn it and turn it. I tried to stitch this once before, and it was too much for my brain years ago. So it was in the drawer. And then I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the library and make 4 copies and do a little cut and paste. So I made 4 color copies, I cut it out, I taped them together on the back, and that's how I stitched it. It was a little hard because there's some of them don't have a symbol. They're just filled in squares. So when you make the photocopy, right, it kind of isn't as, the grid isn't as pronounced. So it's a little hard to see. And I didn't use the called for. I had them, but they were in cardinal points, and I didn't know how much more I was gonna need in cardinal points, so I wasn't pulling them out. So I just pulled a pink, 2 pinks, and got this one done. So here is Octopus Dance. I used a light blue 28 count even weave. Like I said, I just pulled a light pink and a dark pink. The dark pink is a Classic Colorworks, and I can't remember what I used. If anyone needs it, I could look it up. And then you can get the button packs that have the tiny buttons. This one also had a big pink button, but because I changed my pink, it didn't really work. So this little frame thing I found at Joann's, and it's in the unfinished wood. So I just finished it and painted it white. I didn't have enough room to put any fabric behind it, so I just put a trim. I used 2 DMCs that matched my pink as best as possible. So there's this one, but her cabinet had 2 Lonely Command hook strips. So the other one that I did is from the same series, and I believe it's just called Sandcastle. And I got this one right on Just Another Button Company's website as a download. It was $5. So this one has little sandcastles around the edge. I used the same fabric, that's the dark pink. I think that was the only color the same because this didn't have any other pinks. And then the button pack for this one has the sand dollar, and then this is a like a die cut piece of wool. I did not cut that out. This was the button pack, was these 2 things. So this one, it's a little messier on the back, but no one's gonna see it. So then these can be her Florida things on the wall, on the lonely cabinet. I think that is it. I don't think I have my husband's left to fully finish and the math teachers. I was hoping the last couple of years I've designed something for him. This year I was working on a Pascal's triangle Christmas tree, but it just looked like a Christmas tree. It wasn't working. And I showed my son and he's like, eh. So I said, okay, well, if that's not working, I need another idea. They have math team once a week, and every time they have math team, he makes them popcorn. So he said, how about popcorn? So I found just Mill Hill, I think it's one of their magnet kits. And it's it's adorable, a little thing of popcorn. So that's on its way. I'll whip that up hopefully real quick. I've never done a Mill Hill. And I think I'm gonna do it on fabric, not on the perforated paper, so that the finish will be a little easier, and that will be done. So that is what I've been working on the last 6-8 weeks that I've talked about and haven't been able to show you. I hope you got a little inspiration. I love seeing everyone's holiday finishes to see if I get some ideas for future years. And I will be back next time with a regular update video, hopefully with all the things that I can now show you instead of having secret stitching. Bye guys.